Hi everyone, it's Tim here again from Pure Search Marketing, and I've been working extremely hard on this Hubstars $1 million dating project. In fact, don't tell anyone, but I haven't done really anything for the last 4 days. I've just been watching Google, or letting Google go and do its thing and gather data into this account. But now it's time for us to do a little bit of work on this. I have been keeping an eye on things just to make sure that nothing mad happens, which it hasn't, but I haven't touched anything. I've just let Google do its thing and send me traffic. That's all you need to do for the first few days. And as I'll show you, the traffic is growing and all the vital signs are looking positive. Before I show you that, let's just organize these columns so that we can see exactly what we're dealing with, right? So this is how you modify your columns. You come across here to columns, and I'm going to take you through the settings that I have for my columns, just so that I can see everything all at a glance. Unfortunately and annoyingly, you have to do this at the campaign level, and then we're going to go into keywords later on, and I'm going to show you how to do it for that as well. So let's just come across here to columns, modify columns, come across here to, the way I like to do it is I have impressions first, and then I have clicks, and then I have click-through rate. I don't need campaign type, I don't need average CPC, I do need all conversion value. Let's get rid of all of these under here, and I'm going to add those in. So I do need conversions, and I'm going to put conversions here. I've got all conversion value. I also need the conversion rate, and I need the cost per conversion. And I'm just going to move those around here, and I put cost last. Okay, so now I've got all of these. I just click apply, and now we can see exactly what's been going on. So, and now I can tell you how things have been going. So I set the budget, as you can see, 100 here. They haven't been hit anywhere near really, but overall I've spent over the last 4 days 150 odd dollars. My conversion rate is nearly 25%, so that's hitting the target of 20%. That's excellent. My cost per conversion is lower than what I was actually looking for, so I set it at $3.50 to start with. I know we're going to try and get it down to $2, $2.50, but that's fine for now. So that's all looking good. I've had 45 conversions, and I've got 7.21 click-through rate. So that's really good. Those are all really positive signs. Now, if we look on the inside, so if we look inside what's happening inside Hub, we can move across here, and we can see that I've already had a couple of sales, which is brilliant. And if we come down here, do you remember those percentages that Andy was taking us through? The validation percentage, that needed to be 75 plus. So we're hitting 78, so that's really good. And the completed profile, that's supposed to be 65% plus, and we're hitting 69% at the moment. And like I say, we've got a couple of initials, and literally within 4 days I've got an upgrade rate of 3.39. so this is all looking very positive. And what do we do now? Well, now there's data coming in, it's time to start doing some housekeeping. Today I'm going to do 3 things. Firstly, I'm going to weed out any keywords with a low quality score. Secondly, I'm going to weed out keywords which are struggling for volume. And then thirdly, I'm going to add any unwanted search terms to my negative keywords list. Now, the reason I'm doing this is so we can start to train Google to funnel the traffic and search terms towards the right keywords. We're also sending Google strong signals that we're working to make our account as good and as relevant as possible. Now, these are all signals that Google likes. So let's get started. So because we're dealing with keywords today, let's just get the keyword view. I want to see all of the keywords in my account. So make sure you've got this campaign view here. You've got no specific campaign selected, and then come down here and click on keywords. And you can see here all of the keywords. This is the whole list of the keywords that are in my account. Now, I do want to do the same thing again. I want to change my columns so that I can see everything clearly. So come across here to modify columns. I'm going to get rid of match type because they're all broad. Policy details, final URL, don't need that. Okay, now we can start moving these around. Don't need average CPC. I'm going to get rid of all of these because it doesn't allow me to move them around properly if I don't. So now I'm going to add in again, I'm going to have conversions, I'm going to have cost per conversion, conversion rate, and all conversion value in here. And down here I'm going to get quality score, and just select quality score. Don't bother with any of these other ones at the moment. So just select quality score, and I'm just going to finally just move cost down to the bottom there. Okay, and then click apply. Right, so now we've got the view of everything. What we're going to do, first of all, is we're going to weed out the keywords with a low quality score. Now, in order to do that, I'm just going to filter these. What I'm going to do is going to pause keywords which have a quality score of 4 or less. So click on Add Filter and come down to Quality Score and select less than or equal to 4. And what I've got here is there's only 3 here. Now what I'm going to do is going to pause all of those, so select all of those. Now what's interesting is this keyword here, nerdy dating app. Now it's got 6 impressions, 1 click, so a great click-through rate and already a conversion at 100%. But it's only got a quality score of 3. So at 3, I can work on that and try and improve it, but it's always going to be damaging the quality of my account, or certainly the campaign that it's in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick to my guns and I'm just going to pause that and then probably come back at a later date in order to try and improve that quality score. Okay, so climb up here to edit and just click pause. The second thing I need to do is weed out the keywords which are struggling for volume. Now this just gets rid of redundant keywords. It's a bit like gardening. It's just pruning, getting rid of the stuff that's irrelevant for your campaigns. So in order to do that, I'm going to create another filter and I'm going to find all of the keywords which have had no impressions over the last 4 days. And I'm going to pause them. So I'm going to come across here to add the filter and then I come down here to performance and select impressions. And I'm going to select equals 0 and apply. Now I had a little look earlier and there are 252 keywords here which are not driving any impressions whatsoever. Now all they're doing really is just cluttering up my account, and not just for me, they're cluttering up for Google as well. So I'm going to select all of them and pause them, and the thinking behind that is really just to unclutter the account a little bit. So click on this box here to select all of those. It says all 252 are selected, and then come across to edit and pause. Okay, so that's all of those paused, and that's really all we need to do on that for now. We've really taken a bit of a hatchet to the account and got rid of quite a few keywords. So what we're going to do now is the last thing, and that's starting to look through the search terms and just start to weed out any of those which we really don't want in our account. So I'm just going to deselect this and then come across here to search terms. Now if you want to find out more about keywords, search terms, negative keywords and how the whole thing hangs together, then I cover it all in my online course, which is in the link which I've put below this video. But put simply, all we're going to be doing now is identifying the search terms which I really don't want and be adding those into my negative keywords list. And what I need to be looking for here is anything that stands out. You know, I don't really know what's going to work and what isn't going to work yet in terms of sales, but there are definitely going to be themes that are starting to come through. Now, as I've looked through, what I mean by that is, as I've looked through, I'll show you some examples. So we've got free here. I want to exclude people who are searching for free stuff because they're going to be less likely to upgrade. Similarly, you've got down here date simulator. Now that doesn't sound like something that's got to do with gaming, and dating games, that's more like someone who's searching for what type of games they can play on a date, on their first date, for example. So these are the ones that I'm going to be adding into my negative list. They're getting clicks and I'm spending money, but I don't think that they're relevant. You've got here, for example, June free games, PS4 2020, online fake dating. We've got some stuff related to Match.com and open world dating sim. Not really much to do. Not much to do with what we're doing here. Then here, very definitely, even though we've excluded 18 to 24-year-olds at the campaign level, we're still getting searches through for underage, you know, for the teenagers. So I need to be adding that as a negative. And then we've just got some sort of fairly generic ones which are coming through. Okay, there's not a lot of data here to start with, but it's enough to start pulling a list together of negatives which we don't want to be bidding on. So all you do is identify the ones that you don't want, and just by selecting them, and then you've got a choice here of add as a keyword, add as a negative. So I'm going to add them as a negative keyword. Now the default is that the negative keyword is added at the ad group level. That's a little bit too granular for me. I'm just going to keep it at the campaign level. So I'm going to just click here, and then we're going to just come down and make sure that all of these are okay. As you can see, what Google does is it adds them as exact match. So that means that basically if someone types in that exact wording, then your ads aren't going to show. Now, Google does it as an exact match in order to make sure that you've still got a fair bit of traffic coming through. But I'm going to change some of these. So I'm going to change that 100 free to a phrase match, which is just free. So I'm just going to use that. So basically any search term which has got the word free in it is not going to trigger my ads. Coming down here further, I'm going to keep that as exact, keep this as exact, and here I'm going to add this as a phrase. I'm going to also add a list of negatives into my negative keyword list to stop my ads showing for these types of searches. And again, we've got a child theme here, so I'm just going to get rid of anything that relates to kid. And then coming down the rest of these, they're all okay. I'm just going to leave those as exact for now. Now just add save. Okay, those have all been added. Now what I want to do as a final point, because of those teenage things that have come up, is I'm just going to add a number of those into my negative keyword list across my account. So I'm going to come across to my negative keywords and click on the blue cross, and I'm going to add negatives or create a new list. I add my keywords in. Okay, that should do it, and I'll add them all as phrase match for now, but I'm going to keep an eye on that and make sure that no more are creeping through, and if they are, then I'll keep on adding them, keep on adding those in. Now I come down here to save to new or existing list, because I want to create a negative keyword list for this, which is going to work across the whole of the account. So I need to select a campaign, just to choose that one for now, but I'm going to put it across the whole lot. And I'm going to change this list name. I'm going to call it Negative Teen and save. Okay, so now I've got a negative keyword list, which is where I can pull all of my teen type keywords that I don't want to be showing my ads for. The final thing I need to do is make sure that this list is working across the whole of the account and not just US, California. So I come up into Tools and Settings, and I come to Negative Keyword Lists under Shared Library, select Negative Teen, scroll down, Apply to Campaigns, and select all the campaigns that are there and click Done. Now scroll back to the top and just click out of that. And now you can see we've got a negative list called Negative Teen, which has got 18 keywords in it, and it's attributed to 5 different campaigns. So we killed 2 birds with one stone there, haven't we? Because I've gone through the negatives, so I've shown you how to add negatives to campaigns, but I've also shown you how to set up a negative keyword list and how to attribute it to either specific campaigns or all the campaigns in your account. So that's all we're going to do today. We've done the keywords, so we've weeded out the ones with a low quality score, we've weeded out the ones which are struggling for volume, and we've had a first pass at getting rid of unwanted search terms and adding them to our negative lists. That's it for today. What we're going to be doing in the next videos is we're going to start looking at our click-through rate, so that's looking at our ads and starting to improve the quality of our ads, and we're also going to start looking at our conversion rates, and that really involves looking at our landing pages. But as for the keywords and as for just starting to help Google understand the type of traffic we want, that's it. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it useful, and see you in the next one.